If you're ready, just hit yes in the chat box. Awesome. All right. So, how many of you have not yet started your second task? Everybody started the task? Is there anybody who did not start? Anybody? Everybody started, right? How many of you have finished? Mm-hmm. Zaki finished. Ariz finished. Zef finished. Sara finished. Rahil finished. Okay. So does that mean the task was, you understood it pretty well and you have your answers ready? The ones who have submitted? Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, so how we are going to do this is, anybody who has a question, please raise your hand and I will unmute you and we'll take your question, and that's how we will do this. We have 60 minutes sharp. We will close the session at 9:10. All right? Let's get started. Let's get started. I don't see any hands. No questions. I see no hands. There was a question regarding business model and business plan, but nobody seems to be asking anything. Nobody has a question, then why? What exactly are we doing here? If you don't have questions, we could be sleeping nicely. And Sarah Arbina has a question. We'll have to find Sarah Arbina. Yes, Sarah, go ahead. I'm not able to unmute you. Sarah, you'll have to unmute yourself. I'm not able to do that for you. Yes,
Good
please.
morning,
Go
sir.
ahead. Yeah.
Sir, is business plan and business model are, and also I have a question regarding costs. Cost, sir. We have to define each and every cost.
Yes.
We have to define the variable cost also, and in variable cost, what cost come under the variable cost?
There's a lot of disturbance on your side, Sarah. Don't shake your device. Can you ask your question again? Sarah, ask your question again without disturbing your device.
वेरिएबल सर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट में कौन से कॉस्ट आते सर? जैसे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल हो गई और सैलरीज हो गई एम्प्लॉइज की, वो सारे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट में आते हैं, बट वेरिएबल कॉस्ट में हम क्या डालना वो आई एम नॉट गेटिंग.
देखिए, सबसे पहली चीज, the first and the most important thing is different fixed costs will be different for different business models. A business model having
let me answer.
There's a fixed cost or whatever cost you're talking about, fixed cost, variable cost, one-time cost, recurring cost, any sort of cost that you're talking about will differ based on the business model. Okay, so you don't have to think, I don't have an office, so I don't have a rental cost. So what do I put in the fixed cost? If you have a business model, you have to define what are the costs, where exactly, what exactly are you paying for. If you don't know that, I mean, I cannot tell you because I don't know your business. You have to know your business, and you have to say, okay, these are the things that I'm building. These are the things that are going to build my business, going into building my business, and that's how I'm going to create the whole thing. And when you are creating the whole thing, there will be things that you will need. For example, if let's say, for example, you need a website, there will be a server cost to it. There will be website development cost to it. If you are not a developer yourself, even if you are a developer, you will have to pay yourself, and that is a cost. So you have to take that into account. You're paying yourself or not is a different thing, but there is a cost attached to your time, right? So you have to make sure you're adding that. You cannot be asking me कि फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट के अंदर क्या क्या आ सकते हैं. आप मेरे को बोलिए कि ये कॉस्ट है, ये फिक्स्ड में आता या वेरिएबल में आता या रिकरिंग में आता. आई कैन हेल्प यू कैटेगराइज इट. बट इफ यू आस्क मी कि कौन सा कॉस्ट है, ये कॉस्ट क्या क्या कॉस्ट आ सकते, आई कैन नॉट आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन. आप मेरे को पूछिए कि ये कॉस्ट है, ये कौन सी कैटेगरी में आता. आई कैन हेल्प यू विद दैट. Okay. Is the business plan and business budget same? No, business plan and business budget not same. Business budget is just one tiny little subset of your huge business plan. Business plan में सारी चीजें आते हैं. Your revenue model, your product plan, your financial model, your investment strategy, your share strategy. A lot of things become part of your business plan. Whereas you part of your business budget, maybe the costs you are taking into account only the costs. That your expenses, your revenues, your different revenue channels, or and stuff like that. So that is a subset of business plan. Business budgeting is a subset of business plan. Cost of framework or platform to develop the product. Is it a fixed one or a variable one? Cost of framework. Which framework are you talking about? Can you elaborate on the framework thing, Sarah?
AngularJS, Node.js. These
That
are the
doesn't
open
matter.
source.
That doesn't matter. That, see, if you're cooking biryani, it doesn't really matter. There is a cost to cook biryani, right? Definitely, there is the cost of mutton biryani will be different from the chicken biryani, but the cost will not be more than, let's say 20% different or 30% or 50%, right? Like in ये case में, the cost of frameworks and the programming language and all of that, I don't think that really matters in this case. The platform, it depends on the engineer, it depends on them. So it's a fixed cost, and I think it's going to be a one-time cost for you, because once you build your application, at least for the good first few thousand users, you don't even have to add or edit anything to it. Maybe you would want to add more features once your platform becomes stable and the people start using it more frequently. That's when you will have feature requests. That's when you will have updates and upgrades and all of that. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But
Thank you.
your questions are really nice ones. Yes, Maulana Junaid. You can unmute yourself. Junaid, you can unmute yourself. Hello.
Sir, I have two questions. My first question is, do we have to mention in our business plan that how our company will adapt the new changes and trends, and what is the future scope of our company in the new market? And the second question, what I want to ask is, the business plan which you shared to us, that was a preliminary business plan of Sun Microsystems. So my mind says preliminary business plan is something that we make, that is a revised business plan which we make once our product goes into the market, and we again changes the business plan. So we have to mention that our business plan is just the business plan, not preliminary business plan. And the first question, do we have to mention how our company will adapt new changes and trends? Thank you.
So if your company or if your plan has a component that tells, how it's going to adapt to changing times and changing, ecosystem, changing different challenges, and all of that, then definitely you will get bonus points, because as we keep moving forward, there will be a lot of changes, but then we cannot see everything, right? We can only plan for, let's say, for the next 1 or 2 years, right? Even for the next 1 or 2 years, nobody can be sure about what will happen or what will not, right? We are 100% sure that COVID-19 was not part of anybody's, business plan, or COVID-19 was not part of anybody's, future 5-year plan, right? Nobody planned for it, correct? But if you have a risk mitigation plan, and usually businesses call it business continuity plan, right? Every business has a clause that says, in times of force majeure, which means an act of nature which will actually disable businesses to render their services, there will be a clause to accommodate such conditions. So if your business has a plan, if your plan has that particular clause, if your plan has that particular thing taken into account, then nothing like it. Like I said, you will get bonus points. But then, like I said, we cannot be sure about what's going to happen in the future, right? You can only plan for so many things. So you have to, try and come up with as many use cases as possible. You can only make your business plan so much airtight as much as you can. But if not, then that's fine too. So you cannot say, okay, this is 100% airtight. There is no way that this is going to fail. I don't think so. Anybody can be sure about that 100%. That's the first thing. Second thing, I think you said you want to build a business plan after you get into the market. Was that, did you say that, or did I get your question wrong? What was your question, second question? Junaid, what was your second question?
Sir, that was actually writing of a business plan in header. Some of my friends wrote as preliminary business plan, which was mentioned in the business plan which you sent to us. But I think what we are preparing is just a business plan. So I am asking that we should write just business plan or preliminary business plan.
I could not understand half of what you said. You'll have to repeat because you were muted. Can you hear me? That was actually about should we write just business plan or preliminary business plan? Preliminary business plan is preliminary, right? So business plan has to be comprehensive. It has to be detailed. It cannot be preliminary. Preliminary business plan will not hold true until the last. So preliminary business plan cannot, comprise of everything that you want to put into it, put into your plan. So it has to be comprehensive. It cannot be just preliminary business plan. It has to be a detailed business plan. And the template that I shared with you is a detailed business plan. Preliminary business is, or let's say, executive summary is just one bit of it, or the prelim part is only just one bit of it. So you cannot just, look at that and just build that for your business. You have to build the detailed business plan. Samra asked, how are we supposed to calculate the expenses without talking to any web developer? Sure, talk to web developer. I mean, what's the problem? Why am I not able to unmute you guys?
I'm unmuted, Meraj. Did you mean to unmute me?
Samra, yeah.
No, I'm Rana.
No, I was trying to unmute Samra.
Hello.
Yes. Hey, Samra.
Hello. Yeah, so
Yeah.
my question was, how are we supposed to calculate the expenses without talking to any web developer?
Who stopped you from talking to any web developer? Did somebody stop you from talking to any web developer?
No, I didn't know actually that we can talk.
You should be talking, and that's the whole plan. That's the whole idea of building a business plan, right? Okay, let me tell this to you guys. This business plan has so many components, correct? Yes. Every component,
Yes.
for you guys to define every single component of your business plan, of your business model, you will technically have to do a lot of research. You will have to talk to a lot of people. You have to talk to a lot of experts. Maybe you'll have to talk to a lot of competitors. You'll have to talk to a lot of customers. You'll have to talk to a lot of partners. You'll have to talk to a lot of people, right? So that is how you will build a business plan that is foolproof, that is fail proof, that is future proof. If you do not talk to anybody and you start documenting your business plan with whatever you have on your mind to the best of your understanding, that I call that plan, you know what I call that plan? That plan is called an imaginary business plan, right? So you are putting things down what you have on your head. So whatever you have in your head is fine. That's great. That's a great starting point. But then you need validation. You need a lot of data to confirm whatever you're thinking is right or is not right, or maybe you need course correction. You need changes. It's going to work. It's not going to work. Or the money. Let's say the expenses part. You have enough money. You don't have enough money. You're going to make enough money. You're not going to make enough money. You need more people on your team, or you have a lot of people on your team already. All of these things. So the answer to all these questions comes from when you actually start talking to people in real time to find answers for your business plan. If you do not do that, if you try to answer these questions by just thinking by yourself, then that is technically an imaginary business plan. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's wrong, but most likely it's most likely to fail. It will fail most likely. Okay, Samra?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Etisham has a question. Etisham, unmute yourself and
Yeah,
Go
hello.
ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So actually my question is like, is it necessary to add projected profit and loss or projected balance sheet, cash flow statement and all?
Of course, yes. Balance sheet,
Like,
no. You cannot add a balance sheet.
yeah,
You
because
cannot have a
already,
balance sheet at this stage. Yes.
yeah,
But you can definitely have projections. You have to have projections based on what your plan is. You will obviously have
okay.
projections. So it's important to have projections.
Yeah. So we should add projected profit and loss and cash flow statement.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Zakira asks, even if we calculate the cost for any website, we will still be left with other expenses like salaries, marketing. So how are we supposed to calculate that? What kind of a question is this? Of course, you have to calculate, right? So you set a budget. You're going to be like, so the first thing is salaries. Who are you going to pay salary to, Zakira? Can you unmute yourself and answer this question, please? Zakira, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yes.
So, salaries for the developer or like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Can you
like
please be loud?
it's mentioned there. So like salaries for 6 people.
Yeah.
So we can calculate our own salaries. So
You can't calculate your own salary, is what you're saying?
yes, sir.
Why can't you calculate your own salary?
Marketing and Also the sales, how are we supposed to calculate the all the sales? Like how much are we gonna?
Zakira, I can't understand your question. You'll have to frame it nicely. Can you rephrase yourself, please?
Uh, just a minute. Sir. Yes, sir.
Hmm.
We are able to, like you said, we can talk to any web developer and know our expenses about
Mm-hmm.
website.
Okay.
But how are we supposed to calculate
How are
our
you supposed to?
hardware, software, and any other expenses, sir?
What's the problem? Why can't you calculate that? What? Where is the problem? Why can't you calculate it? What's stopping you from calculating it?
We need to have a specific range or something, and so we can't just calculate it. Like,
And that's the whole point.
have any
That's the
idea
whole
about it? Like,
That's the whole
even if
point. The
it's
point is to define it in a very specific way so that you can answer that particular question. And that's the whole purpose of this task, because all your ideas are so broad, so vague and ambiguous. We have to bring very specificity, extreme specificity to your ideas, and that's the whole point. The point is to make you guys work hard so that you find answers to these questions. Like if I need to get an app built, for my product, who is going to build it and how much is he or she going to charge me for building it. Now, after I build it, where do I deploy it? And what is the cost to deploy, that particular app? How much am I going to pay for the server cost? How much am I going to pay for the marketing cost? And I have no idea how much should I be paying for the marketing cost. So what exactly is the marketing that I'm going to do? Is it social media marketing? Is it search engine marketing? Um, is it just random print media marketing? Is it going to be press releases? What exactly is it? So once you start defining these things, you will be able to associate a value to it. When you associate a value to it, that's when you have answer to the question that you asked me. Okay, how are we supposed to calculate that? This is how you're supposed to calculate. The first thing for you to calculate it is you have to know what exactly are those things that you very specifically need. Once you know what you need, you can assign a value to it. And to be very honest, to be very honest, all these numbers are freely available on internet. One simple Google search, and you will find answers to all the questions. You will find answers to all the costs. How much is a web developer going to charge? What are the best methods for marketing, and how much would the marketing cost you, and all these things. They're already there on internet. All you have to do is search. But let's say for whatever reasons you're not able to find it, ask us. We will help you in we can help you understand how to search. We will not search for you. We will not answer those questions for you, but maybe we'll help you direct in the right direction. See in the right direction. Okay.
also it's mentioned in the sales section, deliver 500 units in the first year.
Uh-huh.
So
That's their target.
we just had we just we can set any target we want.
You have to set your target. You have to set a target that you think you can achieve, a target that you think you should be achieving, a target that you think will help you get successful. That will help you push your startup, your company forward, right? It has to be doable. It cannot be like, you know what, I want to do $1 million sales in the first year. That's not reasonable. That's not, you know, it doesn't make sense. There has to be a plan to it, right? So if they say they want to ship 500 computers in the first year, they had the bandwidth to do that. They had a plan to do that, and that's why they figured out they can only do 500. But to be honest, I don't think they were even able to do 200 in the first year, and there was a delay, right? So that is how you put your targets, plan your targets. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Did I answer
Thank you.
your question?
Yes.
If I did not, please let me know.
Sure, sir.
Hmm?
No, you did, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next question, please. We are running out of time. Do we have any more questions?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Miraj, I have a question. Actually, my question is regarding because I was focusing on developing an whole ecosystem in like edtech space. So I'm what I'm facing is when we are developing a particular kind of ecosystem, there is not just one product or one service which is offered, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I was not able to connect that thing like what to put up like in the business plan because I will be having like multiple products. So that's my question, like is it okay that if I put one service at the beginning and later on I develop one by one on that thing?
And that's your plan. That's the beauty of
Yeah.
it. That's your plan, right? So your plan is to come up with one product. You build an ecosystem around it. You build a community around it. And so what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is a collection of different communities.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to build an ecosystem, which is a pretty ambitious thing to do, which is a very nice thing to do, definitely do it. And like you said, ecosystem has different components. So for you to build or develop an ecosystem, you'll have to focus on developing and building those components, right? So your business plan will talk about how exactly are you going to build those components that will contribute to the development of your ecosystem.
Okay.
Right? So you have to break it down. You have to break your ecosystem down to the atomic level and say, okay, this is where I'm going to start. And this, after I do this, it will lead to this. And then it will lead to this and so on. Right? Eventually it will become an ecosystem that you want to build.
Okay. But as it is mentioned that it should be detailed, don't you think that it will be like too complex if I define every component in detail?
Again, it's super subjective. I think this meeting is ending, guys. I'll share a new link in 1 second and we can join that room quickly. Okay, just give me a second.